G'day everyone and welcome to Crackin Furphys, a show where we crack Furphys over some cold ones. I'm your host Drew Agnew and joining me along the bar is my good mate Ash Wallace. Ash, it's good to see you here again, my friend.
Oh, great to be here again, my friends. How are you this fine evening?
Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. We're on the third pilot, so it'll be fun to see where we go this week. Whether we're going to go to a different country, maybe we're going to go to a different state. Regardless of current situations, I don't think we're going anywhere. We're staying in our bedrooms.
No. I'm one of the only people that's allowed to go anywhere, which is the complete opposite of how it's been every other time.
Does that make you feel good about yourself, or do you feel a bit sorry for the rest of the country?
No, this is not the kind of thing to feel vindicated about. I think a lot of Victorians are just because everybody keeps telling them to get their shit together. Like, nah, fuck you, now it's happening to you. But no, I don't want other people to be in this situation. It sucks.
No. Well, to any other Victorians out there here in Australia, get your fucking shit together. Stop being such sourpusses. All right, like we get it. You went through a real shit time. But just because the rest of the states have it now, it doesn't mean you can be all high and mighty about it. I don't know.
I understand the ire because the other states giving it to us. From
I get it. Bloody Western Australia. They thought they were high and mighty over there. Look at us. We're bloody half the country. We got bugger all population. We're spread out to all shit.
Of Australia.
Yeah, but I don't know. Here in South Australia, it's still relatively good. I got my second COVID shot today. So hopefully I'm immune. I'll be like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Just I'll be able to swim in COVID. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe
well,
not.
I certainly hope you don't do that, whether you can or not.
No. Well, I can't, and I won't. I don't even know how that's possible. Like, is there like a reservoir? Just they pull all of the excess COVID?
I guess if you had enough of the germs in one spot, you could do it, but the amount of germs you would need, I wonder what that would look like, if you'd even be able to see it.
Yeah, not too sure. I'd imagine it would not be nice. It'd probably just be normal water. I don't know. Who cares? What are you going to do?
Yeah. Completely, like, unreasonable topic. Like, will never happen.
Everyone's like, yeah, what would it look like if it was just a big mash?
Just a pool of COVID.
Anyway, I know a lot of people are sort of listening to bullshit like this to distract themselves from stuff like that. But so
they don't want to be hearing about that.
No. So Ash, have you been up to anything interesting this week, or has it been a pretty typical week? You did message me saying, "Oh fuck, I'm a bit tired this morning." So I was wondering if that had anything to do with partying, because last week you had your birthday, you had a late night, and your Thursday you were feeling a bit seedy, a bit rough. And I was wondering, bloody hell, is Ash out there partying again? Is he making the most of Melbourne nightlife? Jesus.
Yeah, just getting out there while we can. No, well, I did go to trivia again last night. I didn't drink. No, that's a lie. I had one beer when we first got there.
That would have done it.
No, I just haven't been sleeping well. I go through weird phases where I just don't sleep properly. It's just something that happens to me, and yeah, this has been one of those times. I think I've averaged this week probably maybe 4 hours of sleep a night, and then last night was especially bad. So this morning when I got up, I felt like someone had ripped my soul out of my body. I was a walking husk. But when I was at work and the sun came out in the morning, it was a really nice day here. I just felt better. So I'm all right now. Plus I had a nap when I got home. That definitely helps.
I think we're just getting old, Ash. That's the problem.
That's it.
Late 20s, Jesus. Having the walking stick out soon.
We're only like a few days apart in age as well. So is your birthday the 15th of June?
The 14th. Yeah, so
14th. I was gonna say 14th, but
why didn't you then? Hey, bloody hell.
Well, I knew it was 14th or 15th. I've got a lot of friends that are born in June as well.
Do you?
So
yeah.
So many birthdays.
It's a good month. It's a good month to be born.
Choose between, yeah. It is definitely the best month, you could say.
Yeah, I really like it because it gives you the maximum amount of time between Christmas and your birthday.
Yeah. Like, I'm one of those people that just really doesn't celebrate their birthday, though. People are like, what do you want for your birthday? I'm like, Nothing.
Yeah. When you say nothing, is there something you wish you could say, but you just don't because you don't want to?
Honestly, this year, whenever anybody was asking what I wanted for my birthday, I just told them to, because I was doing that fundraiser that we talked about last week. I just said, just donate to my fundraiser. Like, don't get me anything. Do that. That would be like the best thing you could do.
Oh.
That's what I want. And nobody did that. No, a couple of people did. But like a few people were like, oh, okay, cool, we'll do that. And they just never donated and never got me anything. I'm like, oh, well.
Jesus.
It's all right, though. I don't mind. I'm happy with the amount that I raised. I raised $800, I think. That's pretty decent. So
That's awesome. Yeah, well done.
also, just before I forget, I want to get this in early enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we're on the last pilot for Crackin Furphys. I'm going to crack a Furphy.
Oh, you got a Furphy. Fuck, I don't have one.
A Furphy. I was considering letting you know beforehand, just to like maybe we could tee it up, but then I was like, whatever.
Well,
it is a weeknight.
This is going to be my excuse. These are pilot episodes. Someone has to be there to pilot the ship where it needs to go. But like every pilot, once you get to know the route, then you crack the beers, right? So if you've done if you've done enough trips between Australia and Singapore, you're like, I know where I'm going. A few beers won't hurt. So that's going to be my goal.
You got this. Flick the switch.
Yeah, no, you got this shit. It's all right.
I was always the designated drink driver, so we got this. I've never drink driven in my life.
So we're on the third pilot. We finally actually had a drink. We finally had a Furphy. What do you think of the Furphy from Little Creatures? It's a nice drop. It's a fine beer. Does it get you excited, or is it?
Is it Little Creatures? I didn't even know that. Little Creatures is a WA brand, isn't it? Because Furphy, I'm pretty sure, is brewed in Geelong.
It is. Yes, definitely is.
So I guess they probably just own it. But I think Little Creatures started in WA. One of the tidbits I learnt from when I was living there. No, Furphy is fine. I think it's sort of like somewhere in between your stock standard commercial beers and your craft beers. And I'm not a big fan of craft beer. I seem to be very much in the minority these days, but I don't know. They're very hoppy, like very fruity, a lot of them. And the ones that aren't fruity, generally like the IPAs, are just so strongly flavored and bitter that there's not really much for me to work with that I like in there. And I'm a very much a massive just like Aussie bogan when it comes to beers. Like my favorite beer, this is a lot of people gag when I say this. My favorite beer is probably VB.
Wow. Okay.
It's just like, I know when I drink it, I'm like, this is gross, but I love it.
Yeah.
When you get like, do you ever get when you buy like the cheap like off-brand colas or something and you drink it and you're like, I know that this is gross, but it's just good. That's what VB is to me in beer form. Yeah. I just love it.
Yeah, because I guess a lot of like cola you have, if it's not Pepsi or Coke, then it's just like anything else. It just tastes like completely different to whatever you're used to. So it might be the same for the beer. Like, I know it's just whatever, but oh god, I love it. But then that goes out the window if all you drink is VB.
No, it's not all I drink. I mean, I'm drinking a Furphy right now. No, normally I don't actually drink that much beer anymore. It used to be like that was my drink. It was my go-to drink was beer. But now these days when I drink beer, I usually drink Great Northerns just because they're mid-strengths and I can sort of drink them for a bit longer and have a more chill night rather than VB where you have like 5 of them and you want to punch on with a kangaroo or something.
Yeah. It's got to be a kangaroo too. Like someone comes up and wants to fight.
While you're holding the stubby in the other hand.
You're like, no, mate, I don't want to fight you. I want to fight a kangaroo. They're a lot more of a match for me. Big man with a big tail.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, at the country pub, when they first introduced Furphy down there at Beachport, it was very much a situation of like all the old boys like, oh, bloody, the West End's best end. Bloody get that into your veins, boys. And they drink the Furphy. Oh, this is bloody flowery shit. Tastes like a bloody watermelon. Oh, it's disgusting. It's like, oh,
don't think
there I am, like
tastes like that at all. It's one of the only ones in that area that doesn't taste like that.
I'm like,
And I
actually, it
guess
tastes
if,
really
they,
nice,
if
yeah.
all they drink is West End, then they are probably going to think that.
Yeah, because when they brought it in, that was like a really different type of drink you could get on tap. Whereas now, there's so much more weird stuff coming in. Stewie, who runs the hotel, he orders in just really weird craft beers. He like loves his craft beers, so he's always trying different things. And he brought in like a salt and vinegar pale ale. I'm like, that sounds fucking disgusting. And he had a sip. I was like, oh, he's like, oh, have a taste, mate. So I had a taste, and it tastes exactly what you would think of when you hear salt and vinegar. Like
that's exactly what I didn't want you to say. That's exactly how I didn't want this anecdote to end.
Like how would a drink with salt and vinegar taste remotely okay? Just vinegar.
It wouldn't.
Yeah.
Did you ever that reminds me of a video, like a Vine kind of thing. Did you ever watch Evan MB or LA Turtle? I think his name is on YouTube?
No.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
He's just this weird guy who's got like long blonde hair. I guess he's from LA. He just makes his. Have you seen that video? It's called Dying, and it's just like a 3-way conversation with himself in the kitchen. It was like a really popular video on Facebook.
Doubt it. No, I'm not up with the kids, Ash.
I guess this was pretty old though.
I'm a week older than you, mate. You know, buddy.
There's just this one video he has because he like a lot of his videos are just like how they do it, where it's like just them having conversations themselves, but they're playing different characters. And there's this one that I watched again recently where it's just like this guy's drinking out of a water bottle and it's him, but it's another guy's like, hey, can I get a sip of your water? And he's just like, it's not water. And the other guy's like, oh, vodka, nice. I like your style. He's like, it's vinegar. And he's like, what? He's like, it's vinegar, pussy. And then it just ends. That's it. That's the whole video.
Oh, just that whole thing of faking you out with something different. This was at my 21st birthday. I really wanted to drink a water because I've been drinking a fair bit that night. And someone had a water bottle filled with, I can't remember what it was. I think it was vodka. And like, oh, here you go, mate. Well, thanks. Just take a big swig out of this Mount Franklin, which wasn't Mount Franklin bloody at all.
Oh,
I think it was like Smirnoff vodka. And I'm like, oh, I just feel it just straight out my nose. Didn't throw it up, but straight out my nose. It wasn't fun at all. So if it was vinegar, that might have actually been better than bloody vodka. But
probably a long time ago, I reckon I would have been. I still lived in South Australia, so I was 14 or 15. I was at my good friend Lockie Velo's place, and it was the day after. I can't remember. Someone had a party, and everybody had been drunk, and I was like in his kitchen at like 7 a.m. the next day. And I was like really thirsty, and I opened up his fridge, and there was a 600ml bottle of Coke in there. I was like, yes, score. I'm just going to steal this bottle of Coke, and no one will ever know. I grab it, open it, I take a massive mouthful. And what do you think it was? Do you want to play a guessing game?
Yeah. I assume it was mixed with Jack Daniels or something.
No, it was red wine.
Oh, fuck.
It was. I spat it like inside his fridge because the fridge door was open. I don't even like red wine now, and I was 15 at the time.
Jesus. Why do they keep it in a 600ml Coke bottle in the fridge?
In the fridge. Red wine doesn't even meant to be chilled.
Chilled red wine. Ugh.
Oh my God. I never told them as well because I didn't want them to know that I was like stealing it. So I never found out why it was in the Coke bottle or in the fridge. So like to this day, I have no context behind that apart from the fact that it was there and I tried to drink it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ash. No wonder you turned out like you turned out. Bloody hell.
Well,
just
drinking beers on a Thursday night.
just that awkward. Is he being serious? I'm not being serious, Ash. You know I love you.
How did I turn out?
Very well. All right, Ash. So one of the sort of things we've been talking about during these pilots is, let's move into the section Crack the Furphy a little bit quicker. So that's what we're going to do in this episode. See how it works out. I know we can sort of talk forever, but hurry the fuck up, boys. Get the Crackin Furphys. All right, so let's crack some Furphys, Ash.
You see? Now that's a frothy furf.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, that is a frothy furf. Ash, actually, it's not that frothy at all. It's in a can, unless you.
Yeah, it's a tinny.
Yeah, it's a tinny. Yeah, we don't actually. That barman, as clear as he is, as clear as you can hear him, he's not actually in our houses at the moment. He's actually lost his job because of COVID. So.
Funnily enough, when I was because I actually just went to the bottle shop like 20 minutes before we started recording. I was there and I was like, oh, do I want tinnies or stubbies? And I ended up going with the tinnies just because I thought, I'm going to crack this on the thing. It'll make a much more satisfying sound if it's a tinny.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I went with tinnies instead of stubbies.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ash. You get whatever you like, mate. The audience can put up with whatever sound they get, all right? Even if they don't hear a crack at all, just as long as you're enjoying that drink. Make sure you enjoy that drink, Ash.
It's better than I remember it, Furphy. I haven't had it in quite some time.
Yeah, you keep saying that, Ash. We got the rep listing in, so just keep that in mind.
Quite some time for me is like a week. I'm just a raging alcoholic.
Quite some time. I can't remember because I had a lot of beers last night. All right, Ash. So without further ado, would you like to give us some Furphys for me to try and crack?
Then. Also, just quickly, another thing we're going to do this time is we're going to go 2 rounds.
A few more Furphys.
More Furphys to get through.
To make up for my lack of Furphy in my hand, in my gullet.
Also, I need to come clean. I fell victim last week. I owe you an apology. The one that I brought up that I couldn't find the article for, the one that was the subway is not ground up people. I did what like Channel 9 and stuff have done a few times where they've published a satire article thinking that it's real. So that was actually a satire article. It wasn't a real one. So technically that was a Furphy.
Yeah, you got fucking double Furphied, my friend. Jesus Christ. I was about to say, like, fucking that's a bit extreme. Ground up people. That sucks.
Very quick tangent. I'm pretty sure it was Channel 9. They once published an article that Batuta Advocate had written that was saying that a guy that played for the Perth Scorchers, who's one of the Big Bash cricket teams, used to be or is the kazoo player in Tame Impala. Tame Impala don't have a kazoo player, and I don't know if this cricket player and Kevin Parker have ever even met. And Channel 9, I think, published it thinking it was like real.
Come on, you got to do what you got to do.
A few times with Batuta Advocate articles, and yeah, that's basically what I did.
The thing is with Subway though, is when you say, "Oh, it could be human people in the meatballs" or whatever the article was, it's like, yeah, well, I'll believe it.
Yeah, well, it's something that, like, the world is so crazy that is a thing that could definitely happen.
Yeah, it's like, all right, Subway, shit, you know.
So,
yes.
Pardon me, Perth is getting me. All right, so article number 1: multi-million-dollar painting. Oh, my phone screen just turned off. Multi-million-dollar painting found to actually be painted with several bodily fluids rather than paint.
Oh, that's a bit gross, yeah.
Article number 2: man refused restaurant booking because wheelchair takes up too much space. And article number 3: US cities set up cooling centers as historic heat waves bakes Pacific Northwest.
Okay, that sounds like a real one because that's happening. The wheelchair, that unfortunately, I think that one is real as well. As much as that sucks for people that can't move around without a wheelchair, that's really unfortunate. What was the first one again? Sorry, remind me on that one.
Multi-million-dollar painting found to actually be painted with several bodily fluids rather than paint.
God, I hope that's fake too, but I don't know if it is. You've done well here, Ash. I don't know what the Furphy here is. God, if I only had my own bloody Furphy to drink, I might be able to figure it out. God, the bodily fluids, right? So, like,
I've got a second one, so
oh, we'll pass it over here, mate. Fucking, don't be so
I'll
greedy.
email it to you.
Email it, thank you. Well, this is the thing with the bodily fluids. So you got access to red, being blood. You got access to, don't know if they're male or female. Don't know if they're sourcing it from other people. But you got access to some, creamy see-through color.
There's a few colours.
You got yellow if you're a bit dehydrated.
If you're really dehydrated, it can almost be brown.
Yeah, I guess you can use saliva, but that is like a no color. But you could use that to mix in to get other colors from other substances.
You could dull colours with saliva. You could probably turn red to pink.
Yeah, so you could do that. Unfortunately, I do remember that you also have another access point in the human body, which you can get the brown color from. So you can get that shade. That's a lot darker than, say, the other colors you have access to. So I'm just trying to imagine what kind of painting would come from this bodily fluids. Personally, I wouldn't buy it myself. It might smell a bit in the house. It might be all right for the man cave. You could have some weird smells out there, but apart from that, I think it's a bit of a no-go. I really don't think you would have brought us or made up the headline of the wheelchair. Like I said, I think that is somewhere that needs to get their shit together. Maybe, I don't know. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the first one, Ash. That's the Furphy.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner. That one is the Furphy.
Ring a ding ding. Ding. Cool.
Ring, ding, ding, ding. Yes, you have correctly guessed the Furphy. A man was refused restaurant booking because wheelchair takes up too much space. Funnily enough, in Melbourne. So yeah, Victorians, get your shit together.
Oh, fucking Victorians. I'll tell you what, boys. Get your shit together, especially you restaurant owners. A lot of yous are whinging because, COVID shut you down, which you should be. It's bloody unfortunate. It's bullshit. But
to get more details on the article, but the link seems to be dead now. I did save the links this time.
Bloody hell.
Hang on.
Bloody.
I can't open it, but that did happen. I thought that you might have thought that one was fake because you might have just been like, nah, surely somebody wouldn't do that. The cooling centers one as well, I thought it probably seems a bit more unbelievable when you actually look at the cooling centers in the article. They're basically just like giant morgue coolers.
Oh, Jesus.
Just like big metal beds in giant metal rooms.
Yeah, because at the moment, a lot of I listen to a fair few podcasts from Canada and the US, and every single time they sort of start an episode or whatever, like, oh God, it's hot over here, I'm sweating my tits off. I'm just thinking like, Canada, isn't it? Doesn't it snow there like all year? And
it only snows in the winter in Canada. Like in certain places, it'd snow in all year round, like more north, because it goes sort of into the Arctic Circle. But no, in most places, the snow thaws and they have big hiking trails instead of ski slopes.
Yeah, no, I knew that obviously I was being a bit hyperbolic with the snowing all year, but would we be a bit more? Would it get as hot as it would here? Do you know?
No, I don't think so. Some areas get pretty hot, but I don't think it'd get as hot as it does here. I think it's just a bit too far north. I know like North America gets pretty hot in areas.
Yeah, they got like Death Valley in California and some bullshit. Bloody hell. I hate the heat, man. I hate it.
Oh, me too. I hate hot weather so much.
As soon as I sweat, I should just call it a day.
For the Arctic.
Showing you white forearms.
I don't look as white as I am because I've got my light on like warm lighting. If I change that to white lighting, I will be reflected.
Yeah. Actually, tell me about that. Yeah, actually, no. I just remembered. I was going back to the story that you made up of the bodily fluids. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh no. No,
that was kind of based on a real story, but I don't think it was a news article. But there's paintings out there like that exist. I know that the album artwork to Load and Reload by Metallica, their album artworks are actually paintings by this is actually pretty gross, by a guy who paints using mixtures of blood and semen, and his own blood and semen. And if you look up like the Load and the Reload album covers, and you don't really know what it is, and then you hear that and you look it up, and you're like, oh yeah, that is what that is, and that's disgusting.
I didn't realize Metallica was so gross. It's just like,
no, this is like when they
the
started.
music's not that fucking hardcore, is it? But they're gonna like commission a guy
tried
with.
to get like really progressive after the Black Album. Metallica were my favorite band growing up. I've read their the Enter Night biography, and yeah, they sort of got like a bit weird, try to be a bit progressive after the Black Album, which was their self-titled album.
Is that progressive though?
It's it's not. It's just gross. They thought it was like different and cool or whatever, and it wasn't.
Yeah, because being progressive is all about encouraging positive change. I don't know what that does. Doing that though.
I think it's like one of those things where it's like you shouldn't say it's gross because it's still art in some people's eyes, but it is gross though, isn't it? It is just gross. Like just paint with paint.
Yeah, or just like your own blood. That's like human blood in general. That's pretty gross.
It is a bit much, isn't it?
Obviously, your semen. Just don't smear that on a.
You know what you
canvas.
can use instead of your own blood and your own semen is red and white paint. Be a lot easier to procure too.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like, say, if you really want like a lot of blood to paint with, you could go to like a slaughterhouse or something, and surely just get like a bucket of blood.
Well, I was thinking you could probably go to like a blood bank because blood, when you donate it, only has a shelf life of like a month or something like that. So if it's past its shelf life, you probably
see now that's progressive. Putting that type of stuff to use.
Don't know if they'd actually be allowed to give it out.
Doubt
If
it.
they could, then yeah, no, I highly doubt it too.
Because how would you feel if you donated blood and if it's we didn't use it, so we gave it to this fucking guy who's gonna draw a Metallica album art or something. I don't know.
I've got another quick tangent. I was in South Australia. How long ago? Maybe like when was it? Like 2 months ago, a month and a half, something like that, for a wedding in Murray Bridge, actually. And I won't go into detail about who it was, but like the sister of the bride, I was talking to her, and because she does like art at uni, and it's like that sort of like kind of weird stuff that's like, is that art? But it is. And she was trying to do a piece. I don't even remember what it was, but she was trying to procure somebody's, like an actual person's ashes after they had been cremated to use.
Oh.
And she was like saying how she had spoken to people at crematoriums, and I might have just been the one, and the guy seemed to be really on board with it, and he was like going to give her someone's ashes, and I was like, that seems highly illegal.
Look, if the person that got cremated was like an artist and that is what they desired to live on as a painting, or something like that, so okay. But if it is just like, I need some ashes, just get some out the truck for me, would you, mate?
Yeah, we got heaps.
Yeah.
If it's one of those things where it's like before they passed, they were like, yes, that's fine. I would love to be part of that. And the family's okay with it. And then the place that does the cremation's okay with it too. Then it's like, yeah, cool. But the understanding that I got was that nobody else was in the loop except for this guy that worked there. And he was just like, yeah, sure, come and take some.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I didn't think there'd be anything weirder to put on a canvas than semen or blood.
But here we are.
There we are. As long as those three things don't get mixed, then it becomes a real weird issue. Then that's when it becomes a bit, that's a bit fucked. That's really fucked.
Like before we were like, that's not really progressive. Now we're just like, no, that's just wrong.
Yeah. What about if all three were from the same person? So this artist killed someone, got their blood, got their jelly, and cremated them, and then put them onto a painting. That is when it gets really fucked up.
Well, my direction when you said they're all from the same person would have been, okay, so the artist has obviously gotten all these things ready before he's passed, and then somebody else has used them. But you're like, no, he's murdered this bloke. He's just using all of his stuff. Yeah, no, that's messed up.
Mm.
That's very messed up. How would you guess that chili?
Get the chili. I don't know, Ash. I don't want to know.
About getting that. All right, moving on.
Please, Ash, please. Well, that's a great furphy, Ash. That took us down a great path. Great path. All right, so these are my 2 articles because I forgot we did 3. And I don't know why I did that. Anyway, so the first one is Dad takes child to work and makes them do his job as he eats Ben & Jerry's. And the next one is Mum takes toddler to a job interview with his own CV after she couldn't find childcare.
Ooh,
So which
I
one
like
is the
how
furphy?
I like how you've made them similar.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it harder to pick one. I think the Ben and Jerry's part is oddly specific, which makes me think that one's true, but that could also be trying to lead me astray. I think that the toddler having its own CV is like a kind of witty thing to do. It's pretty funny, but I also think that that's just like, if you're taking your toddler to your job interview, you are never getting that job.
Yeah, it depends what the job is, I guess. But
Yeah, I guess if it's like daycare or something like that, that could just be seen as funny. So 50-50 and you've still got me stumped.
yeah, I gotcha.
There's not many jobs that you could do that you could have your toddlers doing for you in your place. It's also just like
It does say
labor,
for the dad. It does say child. It doesn't say toddler. So it's just a toddler for the second article.
Yeah, okay. So, but there's still only a few jobs that you can have a child do as well.
Mm.
And that's still also just like child labor, which is illegal.
That's what made the headlines.
I'm gonna go with number 1. Child labor is the furphy.
All right.
Ah, you see? Now that's a frothy fur.
That's a frothy furf, Ash. Well done. You got it. So, yes, it is true that a mum did take her toddler to a job interview. And I actually don't know how it turned out. I haven't read it. But let's discover it together, Ash. So I'll read the article and we can discuss it from there, I guess. So the article reads, a mum has been heaped with praise after taking her toddler to a job interview dressed in a suit and clutching his own CV to help her land the role. Mum Margie from St. Louis, US, explained that she had lost her job due to the pandemic and was invited to a second job interview for a new position, but wasn't able to find anyone to look after her young son. The company quickly told the mum that they were child-friendly and invited her to bring him along so she didn't miss out on the opportunity. Sharing an adorable video on TikTok, Margie shows her son preparing for the big day, dressing in a blue and white striped shirt with a bow tie, as the pair even wash down his buggy and write up his own CV to explain why he too would like to be a valuable member of the team. Listing his skills in a blue felt tip pen, the pair included eating all the snacks, destroying a clean space in 20 seconds, smelling flowers with my teeth, what the fuck? Holding his mum's hand to walk down the stairs, throwing a ball, and an expert eye to spot a dog a mile away. The sweet clip shows the boy walking into reception, and it seems the interview all went smoothly. Aside from her little one eating a pickle out of the owner's sandwich and drooling. And Margie praised the company for being so welcoming. Excitedly, the mum posted a follow-up video shortly afterwards to say the dream team had successfully earned themselves a job offer and they would be putting their heads together to consider it. The video has been viewed more than 8.7 million times and melted the hearts of viewers as it raked up those thousands of comments. So that is from themirror.co.uk. So
I take back what I said. That is a genius strategy to get a job. If you go in there with your kid and it like becomes a viral video, which it probably will be because of what it is, they can't say no.
Yeah.
Imagine if they said no, they'd be cremated online. And then my friend would use their ashes in their art installment.
Yeah, it's just like it's a nice heartwarming story. You know, we talked a lot of bullshit at the start about, you know, situations of COVID and stuff. We were joking about the Victorians. Don't worry about that. Ash is one of them now. He's been taken into the tribe, so no hard feelings there. But
it is a bit of a tribe over here. Victorians don't seem to get along with anyone from any other states. Everybody hates Victorians and they hate everyone else. It's reciprocated.
As a fellow South Australian, obviously you are too, Ash, but you do live there, so you have been eaten by the wolves, as they say. You know, I've got nothing against Victoria. I think Melbourne is a wonderful city. It's probably my favourite city in Australia. I love going there. I don't know how I'd go living there, but I'll make the most of it. I'll bloody go out to the nightclubs and dance my feet off, not my bum off.
I did that quite a bit when I first got here. Haven't done that for some time now, though, obviously. I think especially back where we're from, or like I'm from originally, you still live, there's just this ridiculous rivalry because it's so close to the border. So everybody on the opposite side of the border from Victoria hates everybody from South Australia, and everybody just on your side of the border hates Victorians. And there's it's completely unfounded. There's no reason for it apart from that there's an imaginary line going through it.
Yeah. Well,
it's just dumb. I hate it. It's so stupid. Like, it's so unnecessary. And these people hate each other. They don't even know each other. Just for this silly rivalry over an imaginary line where they say, this is where my state starts and yours ends.
A lot of it is just friendly banter. There's like nothing to it. Like, oh, you're fucking Victorians. Oh, you.
Sometimes there is, though. Like, you hear stories about, like, every now and then Victorians will go down. They say, like, oh, they got to get on their quads and they ruined a beach or something. It's like, South Australians do that all the time on their own beaches. They just don't. Nobody cares because they're from here. And then they'll just, like, they won't chase them out of town, but they'll say, like, people get real riled up over it and stuff just because they're Victorians. And it's just very unnecessary. But you're right. A lot of it is friendly banter. But some of it isn't, which is the disappointing part. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, this is what I've been thinking a lot about with just, you know, sort of the Black Lives Matter stuff that came out last year, and a lot of this, you know, just awful racism, which we might have assumed in the positions we are here in Australia that doesn't exist anymore, but I think a lot of it just comes from the human nature of tribalism, whether it is skin color or where we live or this invisible line that separates us. I think a lot of it just comes from that, and it's nothing that makes any sense necessarily. But just because you're from a different state or a different town or a different city, because even just like within your own states, there's a tiny little town near where we live. Like, my town only has 4,000 people. Then there's another town that has, like, I don't know, 200 people, 100 people. I got no idea. But there's even there's tribalism everywhere, whether it's between countries, between cultures, between towns, between districts, between it's just everywhere. And I think all it takes is people just to sort of open their mind up to sort of get rid of that, because it's really dangerous if people take it too seriously. Because back in the day, all it was when we were cavemen or whatever, we'll look at someone and go, oh, you're different. Shit. You know, you put up your defenses. I've got to protect my kids, whatever, because this might be a threat. Whereas nowadays, that isn't necessarily the case. Just because you see someone who has, you know, a different haircut, different skin color to you, it doesn't mean they're a threat, at all, necessarily. If they have a knife, then that's a threat.
But if they're coming towards you with said knife brandished, definitely a threat. Run. But no, I agree. I think humans by nature do bond together, form groups.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. It's a social thing. That's how you be social. That's how you find mates. It is like a natural thing. It's an instinctive thing. But I think people use that as sort of like not a weapon, but a way to justify just shit things that they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably move on before we get too philosophical.
Look, man, I'm all about getting the philosophical here on Crackin Furphys, but
Well, that's usually what you do at the when you've cracked a few too many Furphys and it's the 4 a.m. point in the night and you're sitting around that back table listening to your third progressive rock album for the night, talking about conspiracy theories and stuff.
Yeah, it's just about the end of the podcast. We're like, fucking Ash, I love you, dude. You're so fucking awesome. You know, have I ever told you? Fuck, we gotta fucking do more together. You're a fucking legend, man. You're so cool. Then it'll get to the part where it's like, fuck, where have I gone wrong? Oh, it'll be like the big D&M session.
Love me.
I tried so hard, but just, yeah. We've all had those
All
moments.
right.
Don't lie.
All right.
All right,
I'll give you the next round.
please.
Article number 1. Kim Jong-un
Ooh.
admits North Korea is facing a tense food shortage situation.
Okay.
Article number 2. Microchipped hen discovered 350 kilometres from Dubbo Home Farm in regional New South Wales town Curry Curry, alive and well.
Okay.
And article number 3. Blood Moon 2021. Preacher in End of the World prophecy says doomsday is on the horizon.
Well, man, I hope the prophecy isn't that we're going to be doomed. That's for sure. Hope that's the Furphy. Hope that's a bit of a tall tale by that prophecy man.
Are all of the prophecies that we're doomed though, and then none of them ever come true? Well, I mean, the ironic bit about that is if one does come true, then I won't be able to make a podcast to say, "Hey, they were right."
Yeah. Well,
but no,
yeah.
they're all about us being doomed. None of the prophecies just say on this day everything will be fine.
This will be a good day. Well done. The one about the hen, I got no idea. I don't know if they fucking found a microchipped hen out of, where was it? Curry Curry?
Yeah, Curry Curry.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be, could not be. What was the microchip for though? Was it just like a dog registration? You know, oh look, it's Frank's chicken. We'll return it to him.
I haven't opened the article, but that's what I assume it would be. That's
Right.
usually what it says when you something like an animal's microchipped.
Do you register your chickens? Is that something you do? Each, like if you have pets?
No idea. It might be different state by state.
Mm,
Yeah, again, haven't opened the article, so I don't know.
Right.
I know that when I had 2 cats when I lived in WA, we had to get them. Well, actually, one of them was already microchipped, but we had to get the other one microchipped as well.
Yeah, definitely for your cats and dogs, but I got no idea about chickens. I eat chickens. I don't have chickens.
The chickens you're eating, does it have microchips in it? The meat?
Oh, hope not. Otherwise, I've just got a gut full of microchips.
Bill Gates is watching you.
Some chicken farmer just like, oh, there's my flock. It's me there, just all in my guts.
How is there 30 chickens in this one spot?
Yeah, just like there it is, the whole flock of 100. It's, oh, sorry, it's just me. And what was the first one, Ash? What's the first one?
First one was Kim Jong-un admits North Korea is facing a tense food shortage situation.
Look, I don't know. I'm gonna say that one. He probably won't admit fucking anything wrong he's done. So I'm gonna go with that one. Is that the Furphy, Ash?
That is not the Furphy.
Oh no! Oh, what was the Furphy then, Ash? Oh.
It was the microchipped hen.
Oh.
I haven't opened that article because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, you fucking cheeky bastard.
Yeah, I thought I'd catch you out with that Kim Jong-un one when I put that in there, just because I was like, I was surprised when I saw the article. I was like, oh, I didn't think he would admit to something like that. But yeah, no, he actually did. And I mean, everybody knew that they've been having a food shortage for years. They're a third world country.
Yeah.
But just finally admitted it.
All right, so tell us about the prophecy. Read that article to us. Let's hear more about that.
I'll try to open it. Hopefully this one doesn't show up as a dead link as well. Give me 1 second.
The thing about these news sites as well, they put so much ads in it too. It's hard to actually read them. Like, oh, is this where the article ends or not? They just want their revenue so bad.
I've still got it open in my browser. Here we go.
Oh, thank God for that.
A blood moon eclipse tomorrow afternoon is a potent sign of the end of the world is fast approaching. Okay, when was this posted? Because it obviously didn't happen. Unless it was posted today.
There's a blood moon not that long ago. I remember because Bryce sent me a message saying, hey, go outside and have a look. I went outside and it was just cloudy. I'm like,
Oh yeah, no, it's been the full moon will turn red on Wednesday, May 26th, the first total lunar eclipse in more than 2 years. Many Christian evangelists, yeah, interpret this astronomical event as a sign from God, believing blood moons were foretold thousands of years ago in the Bible. Okay, I guess that makes sense. So the Bible just foretold that there would be blood moons. I mean, that's like me being like, hey, there's going to be a full moon at some point in the future. Both the Old and New Testaments speak of the moon turning blood red in the final days of mankind, and many seem to think these times are closing in on us. This is a very broad thing I'm now realizing. So it just means that there is a blood moon and that Christians think that a blood moon might mean the end of the world at some point. So this is a very clickbaity article.
Well, they fucking got you, Ash. They got you to click on it.
An anonymous passage in the Bible's Book of Revelation, for example, when they say for example, it obviously means it's only kind of related, warns, I watched he open the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. The sun turned black like sackcloth made of goat hair. Well, it's written as one word, so it looks like sackcloth, but it's sackcloth.
Sackcloth. Like, it's just that language they're using. It's like, all right, it's written a while ago. I don't know how much relevance that has in 2021. It's like it turned red like a Nike Jordan shoe. That'd be like the modern equivalent.
Just like my sick Air Jordans.
Yeah.
Sackcloth made of goat hair. The whole moon turned blood red, and the stars in the sky fell to earth as figs drop from a tree when shaken by strong winds. Doesn't seem very apocalypsy. Figs falling from a tree because of some winds.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know, buildings falling down or something. That'd be
clearly very outdated before we knew what stars were. They're not going to fall from the sky anytime soon, I can assure you. Yeah, this article is tying a few things together that aren't really related and doesn't really mean anything. It may as well be a furphy even though the article's actually there.
Yeah. I mean, I know you were trying to steer it away from a bit more of a serious topic last time, but stuff like this is why, just like, I do respect religion and why people like have faith, but at the same time, putting your belief in something that like affects people directly, like for example, whether it's gay marriage or et cetera, the other things that the church is against. These things were written when people were extremely tribal and just looked at each other. You're different. All right, don't worry about it. Oh, you're gay. You're whatever have you be. And when you just like hear it read out in sort of a modern context before we knew a lot of the things we do, it's just like, it just makes you shake your head type of thing.
Yeah, I think especially with like gay marriage as well is because like in almost every religion, it's like that has like a singular god. It's in pretty much all of them. Well, this is a very uneducated take on this. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in most religions where they have like a singular god, it's seen as procreation is like God's gift to man. And then if you are gay, you can't procreate. So it's like seen as a no because of that. But yeah, there's a lot of other things as well, which are just like not allowed for seemingly no real reason. Like, I think you don't need to go any further than just like the Westboro Baptist Church to come across all sorts of things like that where they just don't agree with anything that isn't just hardcore Christianity. And yeah, they're just bad people, basically.
Yeah, and like that's not everyone. Like it has a lot of good aspects too. Like it's good communal, gets people meeting up every week or whatever. It's a bit like this podcast. This gives us a communal reason to catch up. This is Crackin Furphys is kind of our religion in some ways, if you want to put it that way.
Now in session.
Yep, church is now in session, boys.
We are now in sermon. Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah, nothing against people that have faith or whatever. But it's just when you hear sort of these reasons why people can't live their lives and enjoy who they are, it's just frustrating.
I think for the most part, wait, what is this? A warning has just come up on my PC. Something's trying to update.
Well, don't do that, Ash. I'll lose you.
I think for the most part, like most people in most religions are actually fine. Like,
Of course.
I know a lot of Christians, and most of them that were voted yes to gay marriage. They're like, of course, but they should be allowed to get married.
It's like anything, just with the extremists.
A lot of the time, like logic and just good nature prevails over, like extremism, religion.
Yeah, just extreme anything. Like even if you're an extreme eater, extreme drinker, extreme Christian, extreme anything, just it's never really a good sign. Extreme video gamer like you, Ash, playing.
I still haven't even finished Ratchet and Clank, so you can't call me too extreme.
Oh,
though I am right at the end. I'm just keep on doing the tournament, the arena challenges to get more raritanium and level up my weapons.
Dude, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is so good. I loved it so much.
It's a great game.
I sat down in 2 sittings and played it, and yeah, I reckon it's my favorite game of the year so far. Absolutely loved it. Got the platinum trophy.
Though,
yeah,
I'm pretty close to the platinum trophy. I haven't even been trying to get it either. I'm just a completionist when I play games. I do have to say though, it is a buggy mess.
It is, yeah. I had like instances of just like clipping through like rocks and stuff as I'm going, and
yeah. I've had like more than one section where I've like gotten in, like not even intentionally doing it. I've just accidentally fallen into somewhere I'm not supposed to be, and I can't get out. And I've had to like start menu, reload from last checkpoint. Luckily, there's like the checkpoints are very often in that game.
Yeah,
I think they probably did that on purpose because they were like, "This is a buggy mess." Every time there's an update, I'm like, "Yes, get those bugs."
yeah. You know the mini game where your player's glitched, the little computer spider.
Yeah,
How you've got to go and do the challenges and like save the computer terminal from the virus. There was a section in that where I just couldn't move, and I was just clipping through the world. I'm like, all right, so there was no way of me beating it, so I just skipped the level. And after that, I just skipped all sort of the mini games. I'm like, all right, I just went to my menu, skip. I
didn't even know you could skip them.
Yeah, you could just press the menu button and go to skip. And so that's what I did after it just glitched out. I was stuck there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't get out of this, so I'm going to skip it.
Say glitched out.
Glitched out, yeah.
No, I actually really liked the glitch sections. Thought they were really cool.
I did too.
Like
what I played before I skipped them.
They forced story into it at the end. I don't know if you played any of the end ones. They forced story into it, which I thought was really unnecessary and made it feel like kind of janky.
It had like its own little story where she was like, saving the world from that virus. I thought it was really cool. I really did like those bits too. I couldn't be bothered with them after it just fucked up on me.
Anyway, give me my next round of Furphys.
Sure, my friend.
Before we get too sidetracked by a video game.
All right, so Wisconsin woman nearly doubles her Smurfs collection record. Or man keeps everyday meal orders and keeps in his personal collection. So,
can you repeat that second one, sorry?
Yeah, I think I missed a word there. So, man keeps every day... Sorry. No, I said day. Man keeps every meal he orders and puts them in his personal collection.
So he's like ordering Uber Eats or something, but not eating it and then just keeping it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't read them either. So, there's either a man who just keeps his meals from various places and puts them in a collection, or there's a woman who has a Smurf collection.
So the Smurf thing is so specific, such an obscure reference to bring up out of nowhere as well. Although the Smurfs, what a show. Gargamel? Oh, best villain ever.
I haven't watched Smurfs in a long time. Not since I was a real
Neither
little kid.
have I actually didn't even like that show today.
Why'd you say what a show then?
I just thought it would be funny.
You just lied to our faces.
I didn't say it was good. I just said what a show.
What a show. What a shit show, though.
I said like Gargamel, best villain. Easily like the worst villain ever. He never succeeded in anything. Anyway, did she have a giant Smurf collection or did this guy? I don't even really understand the second one. If he's keep ordering meals and keeping them instead of eating them, or I think the fact that it's such a vague and confusing title would make people want to click on it though to find out what it means.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with the first one being the Furphy.
Which one did I say first? I've forgotten.
The Smurf one.
The Smurf.
Smurf collection.
No. Ah, fucking got you, bastard. Yeah, I just
got me by writing a confusing fake article.
So I just, yeah, exactly. I fucking butchered that. I was just like, when we were talking at the start, I'm just like writing it up and I just like put it together really. The grammar's just like completely off. I'm just like listening to you as I'm typing it. I'm like, I can't even read it myself.
I really should have picked up on that when you said it wrong the first time. I'm like, well, that's obviously he's typed it wrong.
Yeah, but not necessarily. So I'm more likely to say something correctly that I write myself rather than someone else because I know what I should know what it is.
Yeah,
but I didn't.
But if you wrote it wrong.
No, I think I wrote it here, so I'm going to read exactly how I wrote it. Man keeps every meal he orders and keeps it in his personal collection. That's what I wrote.
So what did you mean that he was like ordering food and then just not eating it and keeping it? Is that what you?
Yeah. So this is the story I'm pitching, right? This is the Furphy I'm telling you at the pub. I'm like, hey Ash,
you're about to read the fake article to me.
Yep. Hey Ash, did you hear about this bloke, right? And he goes out to really nice steak places. He goes to McDonald's even. And he gets it on his plate. He says, he smells it. He maybe puts his pinky into the gravy. He licks the gravy. He gets a bit of a taste of what that meal would be like. He banks it in his head and he thinks to himself, God, this will be a great meal for the shelf. Delicious, nutritious, and I'll think about it every single time I look at it. And he'll say, excuse me, waiter, can you please put this in a takeaway box for me? But make sure it's in a very clear box. I don't want one of those styrofoam boxes. They're white. I can't see through them. It will not display well. So get it in a nice clear takeaway container. He'll put it on a bit of a stand on his mantelpiece and he'll display that steak. And as the years go on, that steak will look a bit gross. It will smell a bit funky. But he will remember that night very well. That night he went out with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's like, why aren't you eating your fucking steak, you queer bastard? And then he
never want to ever enter this room of these meals.
Yeah, it's like, what stinks? Oh, it's my collection. My fucking rotting steaks.
Well, that could be anything. My collection of corpses.
Yeah, corpses. But it's only bits of corpses
of animal corpses.
From animals that I should have eaten but didn't.
Well, I can guarantee you that if you had have read this fake article to me, then I would have gotten the answer right.
You would have been like, that seems like a bit of a stretch there. Bit of a stretch there. So, but the one that isn't a stretch is from... Oh, I accidentally clicked on an Audi ad. I've got to go back.
Now you're going to get targeted ads for the Audi and everything that you do.
All right. I'm going to put it here right now, Audi. I've got a fucking Audi. Don't need another one. I've got 3 of them. Chantel and I got
3.
Chantel and I got an Audi, and then one of Chantel's staff got her an Audi with her logo put on it.
Oh, that's lovely.
So Chantel has 2 Audis, which is actually the same color as my Audi, which is a nice dark blue one. So I get it mixed up. So I wear both. But that's not why we're here, Ash. We're here to hear about Smurfs, Smurf collection. So a Wisconsin woman who has been collecting memorabilia based on the children's cartoon characters, the Smurfs, for about 40 years, broke her own Guinness World Record when her collection nearly doubled to 11,455. I don't know what that means, but I assume that just means pieces of stuff.
Yeah, I assume that's what that means as well. What I would think that it means is excessive.
Yeah, a bit excessive. Gerda, Gerda, Gerda. Would you say Gerda? Gerda?
Gerda, yeah, Gerda.
It's just all I hear is like a building girder, you know.
Yeah, I just think of that. Yeah, did you ever used to watch Futurama?
Oh, dude,
I just
yes.
think of that, like, I am Bender. Please insert girder.
Girder.
That's all I think of.
Well, Bender was actually talking about this woman. Insert girder.
Fuck, you earned your Smurf collection, just Benzer.
So, Gerda of Ripon originally set the Guinness World Record for the largest collection of Smurf memorabilia in 2014, when she was certified as having 6,320 unique items. She broke her own record when her collection was again counted and numbered at 11,455 unique items. The woman said to have started keeping her Smurf items safe when she was 7 or 8 years old, and her brother damaged one of her toys. Quote, "They were a childhood toy my brother and I played with, and he was playing with it, and one day he broke one. He was chewing on it, and I was like, nope, you can't be breaking my stuff." End quote. She said, collecting toys and other items featuring the Smurfs soon become a decades-long hobby. Quote, "I have fun doing it. There's no other reason than I have fun doing it." End quote. She said she stopped counting her collection after obtaining the latest record, and she invites other collectors to take a shot at claiming the title. Quote, "I don't mind sharing the spotlight when it comes to that. There's some great collections that need to be showcased." End quote.
I just think that, like, when they say, like, I invite people to challenge this title, they know that no one's ever going to challenge that because no one cares.
Yeah, it's just like some other like Smurf collector who's got, say, 9,000 unique items. Like, I'll get you.
Always one step ahead.
So she said her collection, which includes toys, beach towels, plates, books, candy, and other items, could prove valuable if she ever decides to sell it. Quote, "I think I could easily probably get 100,000 or more if I sold everything off individually." End quote.
Wouldn't you prefer $100,000 than 11,000 Smurf items? I know I certainly would.
Yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, how much did you spend on it over the years?
Yeah, probably a lot more than 100,000.
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, if I ever really fully added it up, I'm just going by some of the bigger ones. Okay, so that's a rough guess. She probably loves Smurfs, obviously. So she's probably really overvaluing her collection. But anyway.
Yeah, I think that's what most people do with any sort of excessive collection like that. They'll overvalue it.
Yeah, because
But then again, 11,000 items is a lot. $100,000, that's like less than averaging $10 per item. So that's probably not that unrealistic.
Because no one's going to come and want to bulk buy that collection.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing I was going to say. Is like,
so
you've actually got to be able to sell it first.
Yeah, imagine how much work that would be. Just like, all right, so what do I bundle in with the towel? How do I sell this fucking old candy? You know, like, it would be a massive job in just that respect. But yeah. Anyway, that article was from upi.com. If anyone wants to go and check that out. What else? I was thinking about this before. Like, oh, should I leave these in the show notes so people can actually go and read them? But then I'm like, well, people will check the show notes and then they'll be able to cheat. So I can't. So we'll just have to say on the show where they're from, and they can go and check them out if they want.
I didn't even say where mine were from, and I actually think
that's not such a big deal, man. Just if you want to give the source credit.
I got rid of the first lot, but the first one, the Kim Jong-un one, or the first lot of ones that I did, I just backspaced them so I wouldn't accidentally get them mixed up when I read the second one. So I don't have them anymore. The Kim Jong-un one is from CNN, which is going to be pretty easy to find. And same with the Blood Moon one. That was from express.co.uk. So again, very easy to find if you just Google Express and Blood Moon Doomsday. You'll find it.
There'll be someone out there who's like, I don't fucking believe what Ash was saying. I've got to be going Google this bloody monstrosity of an article, and they'll bring it up on their phone. And they'll be looking at it and like, Well, bloody fuck me dead. That was a real one, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right. So you have one more, Ash? You have a third round?
No, I only had two.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I had two lots of
Oh, yeah. So
three.
that's where we went wrong
Yeah.
because I didn't bring the third one. So, well, we'll
It's funny if you had like the third round, but it was only two, so we went exact backwards.
All right, so we've hit an hour here on the podcast. We'll start wrapping things up, but since this is a pilot, this will probably be the last pilot before we move to the full run of the show. But Ash, let's just have a bit of discussion. How do you think it went? So, you think it was better moving into the Crack the Furphy a bit sooner? How do you feel about actual like the amount of stories we bring? Do you think it's a good idea to do what I did? Have like a story, even bring like a counter story, or do you think it's a good idea having a bit of a mixture and having one Furphy like you did? How do you feel about that? And this question is to the audience as well. If you'd like to give us a DM on Twitter or was it Discord? Yeah, whatever. Maybe Facebook, maybe LinkedIn.
I think out of all of those, the only one that I have is Discord, so pretty much any suggestions will have to go to you. I think both have like pros and cons. I think that having two would technically make it go quicker, but I think having three is probably a bit like a better spread, but it also is harder to then come up with like extra content, like more stories.
How about we just do what we want and we can mix it up? So you can have one round which is two, and you split it off like that, or you can have one where you mix in two normal articles and sort of do what you want, just mix it up so it's not the exact same each time.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool.
I think doing 2 rounds of it was definitely better. I think 3 might go for too long because that actually went for quite a while with the 2 rounds, but we did tangent in between.
We definitely
every
did
single round,
and we don't want to
stop.
We don't want to stop the tangents either. We want to keep the tangents in there.
The tangents are quality content. That's exactly what we want.
Because like before, we wanted like just casual sort of discussion, and that's why we had that for like half an hour before we went to the thing. But I think it's just better just entwining that casual sort of just bullshit into the actual stories, and then those stories also encourage more just discussion as well. Like with the
I think it's good. It worked very fluidly because I had some stuff written down here that I was going to bring up that we could talk about if we didn't it didn't go real fluid, but it did. But I didn't touch any of the things that I got written here, so I can save them for next time if we get time for it.
you just got written down on your paper, just like my grandma got braces today, Drew. How do you feel about that?
I've just got Drew sucks written over and over and over, but like SUX.
Yeah, well, I can talk about that all night, mate. Don't you worry about that. Drew sucks. Yes, he does.
No, I don't. I actually have.
Oh, good.
I have actual things, but we won't touch them this week.
Yeah. All right. So next week, Ash, are we moving into the full thing? Is that what's happening? Do you feel safe enough to leave the confines of a pilot to go to?
I think I feel pretty good. This one was definitely a lot better than last week, and I think that was probably just largely being more prepared, which helped us get on to more fluid content. Flowed like a river. It just worked real well.
All I can think about is your bloody Furphy when you're bloody trying to say that someone's painting with their fluids. And now you talk about being fluent and fluid. I'm like, fucking Ash, come fucking damn, boy.
Yeah, I'm about to go paint a few paintings after this.
Are you?
I'm not really. Also, just before I forget, I just looked at it. When I bought that 6-pack, I wanted to mention this at the start, but I just forgot about it. When I bought that 6-pack of Furphy, bloke at the Bodily gave me a pack of burger rings. What a legend.
Why to give you burger rings with your Furphys?
I have no idea, but I wasn't about to punch a gear force in the mouth. I was like, oh, thank you.
Did he say anything to you when he gave them to you?
He just said, no worries. I don't think he cared. He's probably just trying to get rid of them. Maybe they're about to go out of date.
Yeah, LA out of date.
I mean, I was happy with it.
You're like,
Hell
ooh,
yeah, burger rings.
stale burger rings now. They're the chip.
See, I think the problem with like trying to check if they're out of date as well is I think this is one of the big boxes with the little packs in it, and the use by date is on the big box, not on the little packet. So I don't know what the use by date is. Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought it was cool. Haven't had burger rings in years.
Oh, dude, I love burger rings so much.
Also, I've just noticed that it looks like there's some sort of creature under my bed. That's just the reflectors on my high vis for work.
I don't believe you, Ash. That is Oscar the Grouch. He actually lives under your bed.
Yeah, he wears high vis now.
Yeah,
They kept throwing it into trash compactors, so we had to do something. All right.
So, Ash, I've got a dad joke. We'll try and impress the rep with. I know I said like, I don't know about impress the rep this week, but let's try and impress the bloody bastard. I feel good about this episode. We had a lot of fun doing it. I don't know if anyone's gonna have fun listening to it, but I'm sure they fucking might.
They damn well better.
Yeah. Well, if you haven't had fun, I'm sorry about that. So, bloody barman, is the Furphy rep in today?
Yes, he is actually. He quite often comes in.
All right, so Mr. Furphy rep, we've got a bit of a joke to ask you here, mate. So, can we talk to you?
All right, boys, impress me. Why should we sponsor you? Being sponsored by Furphy is a very prestigious title.
I'm aware of how prestigious it is, mate. But I've got a bit of a joke here. I can make you laugh a little bit, I think. I know you're not so much into, say, semen and blood, which we discussed earlier in the episode, but you might enjoy this one. So a bit of a joke here for you, mate. So this one is really exciting. So I'm afraid of the calendar. Its days are numbered.
Sorry, boys. We're all sponsored up this month. I'll be back next month if you want to give it another go.
All right, so
the response I would have expected from that joke.
Yeah, no. So the Furphy rep was not impressed with that one, but as we do continue on, we are moving into a full show as of next week, be on YouTube and podcast services and all that type of thing. So hopefully over the next year, 2 years, we'll garner a sponsorship from Furphy themselves. Maybe we get some nice promos. Maybe we'll get some hats, t-shirts. Maybe they'll give us $1 million. $1 million straight up. Just bang. Here you go, boys.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah, it's like, you know what?
I just stopped making the podcast on the spot. Like, I'm done.
Like, Ash, come back. It's actually a deal where we get it eked out over 10 years. So we actually get $100 an episode.
Not actually worth that much then.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That would be brilliant. If we could, even if we just get something like they give us some t-shirts and some hats, I'd be very happy with that.
I would be too. So we've got to work out actually how to talk to another rep who's not just hanging out at the pub every week, who can actually get something done. But until then,
yeah.
How are we going to end the show as well? That's another thing. Got to work out. Got to really think about these little small things when I'm hosting. I'm just sort of coming here to talk to you, but when it comes to actually running the show, I'm like, oh shit, yes.
Yeah, because it's something that we've not really talked about. It sort of just ends.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah, goodbye. See you next time.
Yeah. All right, Ash.
Really come up with like an ending.
Ash, it's time to leave the pub. My family is calling for me. I'll see you later.
We haven't seen you in days, Drew.
Not too bad. I'm talking to Ash.
About the pub. Putting a bet on the ponies.
Oh, the odds are good today, Ash.
It's probably either that ain't
Was that Ash? You coming home with me? Is that what's going on?
I don't know what you're saying. I'm going to assume the music's playing and I'm going to dance because I can't hear anything.
He can't hear me over Discord while this is playing, so that'll do. Bye, everyone.